Now, as someone that runs a production company and enjoys entertainment in general, a projector is one of those things that over time, you're gonna find yourself needing it from time to time. Well, I recently came across this right here. This is the Puttrums K12 projector, and I was pretty intrigued about what this thing had to offer at its price point. So I wanted to take a little bit of time today and go and look over this. Now, one thing to be aware of, I was contacted by Puttrums to test this out. I'm not getting paid by them. They don't get to review this or anything. They just wanted us to send this to me and get my honest opinion. And that's what I want to give you today. Now, one of the things you're going to notice when you cut this thing on is that for me, technology that works is something that I just want to bring it on, plug it in, and just work with that. And one thing I really did appreciate from this Puttrums K12 right out of the box was just how out of the box friendly it was. Now, as you fire up, what you'll see here is it'll actually do an autofocus system. So as you can see, it starts off right here, and you will see it will focus an auto keystone for you. It's a very, very helpful thing because if you move this thing around, you don't want to be sitting there trying to get the focusing in there. And I really found the autofocus feature of this to be spot on. And in addition to auto focusing this, it'll actually do an auto keystone. What keystone will do is, like you can see, I've got my projector here at a bit of an angle. It'll essentially cant it so your image looks straight instead of canted. And what I liked about it is it makes it a very, very simple thing. So you can come here, I can come to this picture effect right here, and let's say for some reason it doesn't auto keystone exactly the way I want. I can actually come and do a manual keystone. And what's really cool is you can sit there and see I can adjust each of these angles here. Once I do that, I can do that and adjust each angle, and I can dial it in exactly the way that I want. And if for some reason that doesn't work for you, you will see it auto keystone again. Once again, you'll see it here focusing, and then you're gonna see these little black dots that come up like that, and that's going to keystone it in, and boom, right there. Now it's keystoned and nice and flat and ready to roll. Another thing about this that was very, very important aside from the simple setup is that this thing is pretty much designed from the ground up for streaming. And that is going to be absolutely critical in both home entertainment and for production stuff for me as someone that's gonna be taking these on sets with me. And if you look here, this thing actually has Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2 built into the body. This thing really, really lets you connect to a lot of different things that I don't think you see in a lot of more affordable budget options. And for this one, it's kind of designed around having Google TV is built here into the body. And this is a huge advantage, I think, whenever you're looking at a projector, especially one that's more affordable, because a lot of the cheaper ones have like Linux built in there. And what happens is if you don't have that Google TV option built in here, you get a projector and you're completely limited in access to certain apps and other things that you want to have. It's got this Google TV HDMI opening port there, and if I click on that, you can see I have all the apps that I would actually want on a home entertainment system. You can see Netflix, Video, Disney+, Hulu, YouTube, Tubi, all those things that I want to have in a system like that. This makes this very, very valuable to have as a basically running projector that you can access the internet anywhere you can get a Wi-Fi connection. Now, the other thing I really like about this is that because it has that Google TV option, it's almost like a default HDMI output, but it does have an HDMI on the back and a USB here to plug into, as well as a headphone jack, so you have a lot of options. Also, that means that if you have a background or something that you've put on a laptop that you want to do as a projection for your laptop, you can easily go from the HDMI out of your laptop, plug it in here, and there you're going to be able to get anything you want with full flexibility of what you project from a projector. Now, in addition to the Google TV, there's one other aspect of this that I find incredibly useful just because I am an Apple user, and that is that this thing has native iOS casting support. When you pull up the iOS cast there, it gives you a very nice, easy set of instructions right on the screen, so you don't have to figure it out too much. And then I'm just gonna come here real quick. I'm gonna cut on the mirroring there. I've already registered, so it shows up here on my phone. And then what you're gonna see is basically, it's that simple. Once this thing hooks up to my phone, it's gonna register and go right on to the thing. So I can now play any videos that I want on my phone. And as I said, even though I am an Apple user, if you are a Android or Windows user, this does have Miracast, which also allows you to hook up those just as easy as it does for an Apple. So basically, whatever system you're on, this thing seems to work really, really well and hook up really, really nice. So for me, this just was really, really useful in how I could access both Google TV, iOS cast, all that stuff. It really provided me all the options that I would want when I'm running around, needing this either on set or honestly just at home for fun. A couple other things to be aware of this. They do state that this is a 1,000 lumens basically brightness. I don't think it quite reaches that 1,000 lumens, but I did find it to be perfectly bright, and when I had a controlled environment, I could use this, and I thought the picture was really, really good. The autofocus made it nice and sharp, and I really honestly enjoyed the picture that I was able to get from this. Now, this is a native 1080p resolution, but it is 4K supported. So what that basically means, if you are watching something like on Netflix that's 4K, you'll be able to watch all that stuff, but just know it is going to show it in 1080, which honestly on a projector, in my opinion, looks great. Anyway, this precision glass really does go a long way to basically eliminating the edge blur. You can see here on the picture I have up just how crystal clear each of the edges are, and it also enhances clarity and color richness. So this is both really, really good for indoor use especially, but you can even get away using this in outdoor uses as long as the light is somewhat controlled. So if you can get about 11 feet away, you can basically get a 120-inch screen. So you can actually take over an entire wall. You can see I have this giant 8-foot piece of paper here that I'm projecting onto. It's absolutely enjoy. But you also get some other convenient features like a 50-100% zoom, and you can change your aspect ratios. You can put a sleep timer. There's all these kind of customizable settings here for brightness, contrast, and more, so you can kind of dial it in and get exactly how you want to get it set up. And last but not least, this does have an HDMI ARC function, which simplifies connecting to a soundbar without need for extra cables as well. So all around, this thing really, really goes super, super simple. And as you can see here on the bottom, it does have an M5 screw hole at the bottom. And what that does, it allows you to basically rise and lower it as needed. And it also allows you to basically turn it into a wall mount or a tripod mount, or even if you need a ceiling support, you can do that there. So you have a lot of features to have that component there. Now, I know when you think of a projector, you really do think of this more as a home entertainment thing, but I think if you are in video production or film production, this is something that is another really, really powerful tool, because this does two major things that I consider for that area of our business. One, I think if you're in a situation that you need to get dynamic backgrounds, this is going to give you way more space than trying to buy a TV. Look how big this thing is. I can literally pack this up with two hands. It's super small, sitting in my front seat. But if I get 11 feet from the screen, it gives me 120 inches of projection. So this is very, very powerful tool to get large projections for commercial and practical applications for dynamic backgrounds. I think it's a very, very cool thing. I think the other thing that's really nice about this is just a situation that if you can control the setting, it's just a great way to present to clients. Having this big projection just presents and looks really, really great when you want to project to people in a commercial setting. And what I love about this is it's so simple to set up. You can literally take this out of a box, set it up in a completely new area you've never done, and because it's got all this auto focus and auto keystone features on there, you can literally have this thing up and running in just like 2 or 3 minutes and have a good presentation thing that's going to make you look better to higher end clients. Now, whenever I do a review about any kind of project, I always like to point out what I would consider rooms for improvement. And I think with this one, this is so simple, it plays in so well. I don't have a huge amount of room for improvement. The one thing that I did notice that was just a little clunky, I found the remote operation to be just, it worked completely fine, but there were times that sometimes I'd have to push a button once or twice to get it roll. So I did find the remote function to be just a little clunky, but once I started playing and the actual operation, I was really happy with, but I did find this just to be a little clunky. It worked, but just sometimes I'd have to push a button once or twice. So that's really the main thing that I noticed for you to be aware of if you're considering something like this. I think this little Putchums K12 is actually a really, really cool projector, especially for someone that has not gotten into projectors yet. This for me feels like a perfect entry-level one that gives me all the things I really wanted in a projector, things I didn't even know I wanted in a projector, and I thought it came in at a really, really affordable price point. Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Leave me any notes and comments down below, and yeah, go out there, keep on shooting, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.